Hey everyone, it's Adar here. Some of you might remember me from Catskills UO and some other games, but this pretty much goes out to every Undead chapter that ever existed and anyone in this group. I just want to give you guys a tour of some of our assets in Legends of Aria. Legends of Aria is pretty much Ultima Online 2, the one that we never got, and it's really promising so far. It's still in early access, but there's a pretty significant amount of content to keep you occupied. There's a lot of stuff to do, and a lot of stuff that I still haven't seen or acquired in this game yet. So I'm having a great time. Darkness is having a great time. Zereth Kenner from the IPY chapter is having a great time. There's several orcs on here. We are temporarily merged with the Blood Clan orcs, which is kind of a wing of Shadow Clan, or ex-Shadow Clan, and other members, but they were nice enough to give us a home for a little while until we get our guild charter, which is happening pretty soon. Anyway, this is our crafting tower, and there's literally everything that you could ever want to use here to level up your crafting. And crafting in this game is actually pretty rewarding. It is a grind, but it's quite nice when you can make your own gear, and there is some RNG involved as well to like get a good enhanced damage stat on your weapon or enhanced defense on the armor that you make. So it's actually pretty nice. There is fishing, as you can see, and the fishing here is quite good. Anyways, so yeah, if you join up, this is a nice guarded area, and the PKs can't really come in this area, but don't get me wrong. Like 15% of the entire world map is actually guarded, so this is just a good real estate spot in a nice safe zone where you can start the game, level up your combat character or your crafter. Darkness has a house just beyond these trees up here, and just to give you an idea where we're at, this is the city of Eldir, and we are south of it, along the stilt-swept river. This is our home right here, where my pointer is, or cursor. There is one guarded dungeon in the game. You can get the GM there, but it can get a little crowded sometimes. But it is a PvE dungeon right here. It is like a 5-minute run from our house, and just to the west, not even a 1-minute run, are some haunted ruins with some bone mages and occasionally a lich that you can kill. A couple liches, actually. So it's fairly profitable, and you can get to your mid-70s or into your 70s just by leveling up there. So this is our first asset, and everyone who's a recruit or new to the game, after they level up in the graveyards outside of their respective starting town to like 50s or 60s, then we'll probably recommend that they come here. We'll give you full access, and you can level up in either of those two spots. And as you can see, the area is actually quite nice. For an isometric game, they pulled off the forest and wildlife pretty well. So, now what I'm going to show you is our most recent acquisition. And that is a large Gothic-style mansion out in the wilderness in the unguarded territories. So we'll probably take you here when you're comfortable, pretty much. 75, 80 in skill, or higher. And this is it. So I'll give you actually a nice view on the outside. You know, it looks pretty nice, and of course the door would slam in my face because I'm recording this live, sort of. But yeah, everything you could ever want is here. Every crafting station known to man is smushed into this little wing here, and it actually looks pretty nice. You know, we have a nice interaction area here. We're working on getting some more Gothic-style decorations, but some of them are rare drops, so we have to be a little bit diligent with those. And this is our storage, and all of the chests are labeled, you know, based on what you want to use. And we generally have been supplying each other with our individual crafters and what we find. So it's been pretty convenient. So this is the area we would probably take you to once you, you know, feel comfortable with the game and feel like you're okay with possibly encountering red players. And there are ruins just off to the side here. And I won't take you through a fight here because I can own these guys in one hit. It's kind of a waste of ammo. But yeah, there's liches there too. There are also trolls that spawn randomly around here, and if you're a carpenter or a lumberjack, you can get some pretty good types of wood here as well. So, yeah, this is Necropolis 2.0, and we are here for the long run. We have a handful of active undead, roughly. There are a few active orcs that are in the Blood Clan orcs. We'll still be working very closely and pretty much offering them whatever we get to use as well, just to keep that unity between the orcs and undead that has been pretty coveted for many years. But yeah, this is the start of it all, man. And you can put plots, more houses over here, to the south of us, over there. We have a neighbor who's cool and likes our peers, but just between the two of us, there's nobody else in this entire landing. And in comparison to where we were at, this is where we were at before, and this is where we are at now. I am a co-owner on this house. But all of this area up here is entirely unguarded. This area here around my cursor is entirely unguarded. Over here is unguarded. Over here is unguarded. And the frozen tundra is a new continent, the last continent that's coming out, as well as the Outlands. And a large portion of those will be unguarded. So this is very much like the early days of UO, like 97 to 2002, before Trammel came along, but there is a very small Trammel element to it, and that is the guarded zones, and that's usually around the starting cities, but not too much. If you run for 5 or 10 minutes in any one direction, you will go into the wilderness, and you will be able to fight other players or get ganked. So yeah, just wanted to give you guys a tour. You're welcome to join us. We'll give you access to anything you need. We'll get you started out. And we're loving this game, man. It is a lot like UO. It has some welcome changes, some unwelcome differences, but for the most part, the positives greatly outweigh the negatives. We like the way the game is going, and we think that it's going to grow. The server wipes are done. Even though the game is in early access, they are allowing players that backed the game individually outside of Steam to have a couple months of head start on the Steam players. And Steam launch is coming within a couple of weeks, possibly several weeks, but they've given a rough time frame of spring 2019. So that is almost upon us, technically. And we expect a large influx of players. And this server, Azure Sky, is already quite populated. Anyways, wanted to give you guys a tour. If anyone's interested, just let us know. We got you, okay? And it would be cool to have you guys back. We RP lightly, but it doesn't have to be super strict or serious. There is bone armor, as you can see, and it is light armor categorized, so if you're a mage or something like that, you can get like a face mask or cowl to cover your face if you're going to be a bone magi, for example. But outside of that, everything is pretty damn cool and suited for RPing and undead. And you know, it doesn't have to be super strict like the old days. Just get on here and have fun with us if you're interested. Alright, cheers everybody.